Hello everybody, this is HG Shaves here. I'm back with another video. Thank you for joining me again. I hope this video finds you in good health, good spirits, all those things. I did get a new phone, new camera, so the angle might be a little different, and I'll be working through that as I continue to do videos with this phone. So as you may know already, I'm participating in Austere August, in particular doing a challenge with some of my colleagues with the Gem Micromatic open comb razor. And since this is the first week, I figure I might as well just tell you a little bit about what I've been doing, and we'll see what kind of videos I make for the rest of the month. So this is the Gem Micromatic open comb, sometimes called the MMOC, Mock. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. This one is particularly kind of cool because it says it was etched on here originally, hold flat against face. So reminding you that this is the shaving angle. For those of you who may not know, there are two generations of the razor. If you have a chrome version like this, you know it's second generation. If you have a gold version, you have to check the inside here. And so because this has these two tabs here, that's how you know that it's second generation. So there are gold models that look just like this on the inside, and there are ones that don't have these two tabs. And so that's how you know you have a first generation version of the razor. Some people think that the first generation is even more aggressive than this one. Honestly, I haven't spent enough time with the first generation to really comment. But let's go ahead and load the blade in here. And remember to use the PTFE coated blades, not paint scraper blades, carbon steel. I don't think it's worth the hassle. So there's the blade in there. And I like to make sure that it's behind the blade stops. Well, you should make sure it's behind the blade stops, and then when you tighten down, it'll look just like that. The soap, and by the way, that blade, this is gonna be use number 7 on it. For those of you who have never used a PTFE more than a couple times, we'll see what that's like. We're using House of Mammoth Restore, which is a wonderful rose, vetiver, honey kind of scent. I've got it, I scooped out a little bit and pushed it into my Captain's Choice bowl here, because all month I am using this Zenith B2 boar brush, and no matter how much I use it, it just doesn't hold onto lather the way I like if I only load out of the tub. So I've just given in, and I just scoop into the bowl, and that seems to work just fine. So let's go ahead and get into the process here, and we'll talk as we go. I'm gonna go ahead and get some warm water on my face here. And let's begin the loading. So I've shaken out most of the water, and then we're just gonna start loading up the soap. This is the Tusk base from Mammoth, and it's a really nice base to work with. The fun fact about this particular soap Restore is that this is a firmer version of Tusk than the usual soaps, because due to the pandemic that started last year, Ben had to sort of cure and hold on to these soaps longer than he expected. So they got a bit firmer. I mean, it's still not like a hard soap or anything, but it is firmer than the current Tusk offerings, which are, it's a pretty soft soap. So anyway, that's just a fun fact in case you're interested. So the reason why we're doing this challenge partially is to have more people exposed to the Micromatic so that they can realize that it's maybe not as aggressive as it's made out to be, and also to encourage people to stretch the life of their gem blades. I think all blades in general could be stretched more than the average person does. And well, I've taken gem blades to at least 20 uses. I haven't taken it to 31 yet, so we'll see how that goes later this month. But because it is kind of a more aggressive than average razor, I think it'll be well suited, even if the blade does kind of get duller as we go on. So again, I like to emphasize, like Michael Friedberg would, that I am not bowl lathering here. I am just loading the soap, and I think that's going to be plenty. Let's go ahead and get right into the face lather. This is a 26 millimeter Zenith bore that I have used something like, I don't know, somewhere between 50 and 75 times. I can't quite remember now. And so it is by far the densest bore knot I've ever used. And it has become really nice and soft. It is, deceptively soft, I'd say, because, when it's dry, it's kind of a typical sort of stiff, the fibers are the hairs, not fibers, the hairs are pretty stiff. But yeah, it's really softened up and become a really enjoyable brush. The only thing that I just haven't figured out yet is how to get it to hold onto lather. And it's possible that just the way that I lather is not suited to some of these brushes. One when I tried a Samog Owners Club that was pretty well broken in, I had kind of the same issue, and one of my friends hypothesized that perhaps it's just, you know, the way I build lather is not suited for these brushes holding on to it. So, you know, feel free to chime in with your thoughts on that. I am by no means a bore expert in general, but I have put in some serious usage on this brush, and so I'd like to think that I know something about this particular brush. This tusk base is really easy to work up, and as you can see, it's got some nice small peaks already. And I'm just gonna keep working this in and then bring it back in when I'm about to start my first pass with the Micromatic. All right, we're back, and I'm happy with this lather result, and let's go in with the first pass with the Micromatic. So again, you want to run it as flat as you can. And honestly, I'm working on 1 day's growth because I'm shaving every day. If you're going with the grain and you don't have too much growth, I would go as far to say that this is a comfortable razor. Like, from those parts alone, I would have no idea that this razor were aggressive. It's just smooth and really, really nice. Of course, the blade has smoothed out a bit as well. I will admit that the first couple of uses on a stainless PTFE can be a little bit rough, but I mean, at this point, it's fantastic. So the first pass has always been pretty easy for me this week. Under the nose here, it's not really possible to lay it flat, so what I do is I just try to grab the very top hairs kind of at a weird angle, and then I try to fix it after that. So here we go. So you get that much, and then I try to flatten it out. Just as easy as that. Again, it can be a little scary because the head is so big trying to get under there, but don't worry about it. And you can always get it going across and going south to north as well. Keep a light touch as always. And you know, these Micromatics are nice because they got a pretty long handle by vintage standards. And so the Micromatic design has its benefits for some people compared to like the old 1912 models that have shorter handles. All right, that was a nice first pass. I'm gonna rinse and then come back for pass number 2. Pass number 2 with the Zenith. All right, let's go across the grain mostly here. So going across on the cheeks has been no issue so far. Again, I would say this direction for me is still very comfortable. Again, I know this will sound crazy to some people, but it feels like a smooth razor. Now, on the neck, that's another story. I would try to go against on the second pass, like if I was doing a 2-pass shave, and that was not good. So what I started doing is just going with, once again. And then if I need to, I'll go and do just like a very light touch up on the neck, but not going against on the second pass. I asked my barber to take up my sideburns for me yesterday, and I'm still figuring out kind of where they are. Close enough. Doing this with the grain once again on the neck reminded me of a term I heard straight razor shavers use called a dummy pass, which is where you're using a straight razor because the straight razor is more, difficult. You just do the same pass again. Like instead of going with and then across, you could just do with twice, and they call the second one a dummy pass. And that's the move you can do to get under the nose if you're not satisfied after your first pass. I usually have coffee after I shave, but today we're doing it the other way. And so the caffeine has provided some extra challenges with my technique here. Nice second pass. Let's come back and do a final third pass. Why not? Here's the third pass. Just went back to the bowl to get a little bit more of the soap in there, and I think it really does help. Okay, here we go. Final third pass with the Micromatic. I'm gonna go against the grain in most spots, but I'm gonna go very lightly. I think that's the key. Again, if you're not used to that cutting sound, I think maybe that could be a temptation to press down more, press down harder, but as usual with most razors, you absolutely do not need to. So far so good. Again, I do believe that if you wait to do your against the grain, I guess that's the point, right? Wait till your third pass, because you will have cut down more hair, and so it's less work for the razor to do. Again, very nice, comfortable. I'm not feeling any irritation at this point. As a reminder, your grip can also help you apply less pressure. So I really am lightly holding this razor. I'm gonna do this south to north thing again. Okay. Again, so far so good. I very rarely go any direction besides north to south in that area. And here comes the against grain under the neck, which was a little challenging a couple of days, but it's a wonderful sound. I do agree with one of my colleagues who says that you really need a slick, wet lather to get the most out of these gems. Wow. I haven't done 3 passes except I think one time this week, and that went just extremely, extremely well. Again, as this blade ages, maybe it won't go as well, but I mean, super comfortable. I feel no irritation whatsoever, so that's kind of amazing, really. I'm gonna rinse and then come back and talk to you over post-shave real quick. Absolutely great shave. I just dabbed my face dry with a towel because I'm gonna be using my old favorite, the Chatillon Unscented toner, which it's better if you leave your face a little wet when you use this. I've been using this for almost 2 years now, and quite often, as you know, and this is as much as I've used. And this bottle is only 2 ounces to begin with, which is smaller than the average aftershave bottle. So it's amazing how long this stuff will last. There's no way I'm gonna finish this by the end of the month. This toner just has really worked well for me. And I figured gonna be doing a challenging thing and trying to stretch this blade usage to 31. So let's be kind to ourselves and use an aftershave that I really enjoy. Very nice shave. So let's do a quick recap and then I'll let everybody go. Unscented, Chatillon Luxe Post-Shave Toner. It's a draggy, doesn't make that anymore, but it is what it is. The Zenith B2 Board Brush, BO3-826 if you're in Europe. Terrific. Might be better if you do the bowl loading method, but I've really enjoyed using that brush, and it'll be interesting to see if it changes much over the next few weeks. Some of my colleagues say it probably won't. It's probably, basically how it's going to be forever now. The Restore from House of Mammoth, and then finally the Gem Micromatic Open Comb. Only in a couple spots today did I even feel remotely harsh or aggressive, but 90% of the time, 95% of the time, felt smooth. And yeah, I think this razor gets a bad rep, and that's part of the reason why we're doing this side challenge for Austere August. So thank you all so much. If you made it this far in the video, I always appreciate it. Who knows what I'll be doing for the rest of the month, but anyway, thanks for spending your time with me. This has been HG Shaves, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.